Hey guys, how you doing? My name is Hiro. This is Coding with Strangers, and there's been a lot of Discord on my page recently, and I wanted to take this time and opportunity to apologize to all the strangers that, came to my channel expecting to see fair, clear, and concise Discord about everything that's going on as it pertains to the story I did a few days ago on Assassin's Creed Shadow. Now, I might have said some things that when you look back on it, a certain demographic of people probably didn't appreciate it. And I can understand why they didn't appreciate it. And in large part, that's not y'all's fault. It's up to me as a host, as a self-proclaimed YouTube journalist, to do the bare minimum and due diligence in stories that I present to you guys. And I owe you that. So this is me apologizing to the people that were jaded, felt that I took advantage of their time, space, and opportunity, because you guys don't have to get your content from me. You guys can get your content from anyone and everyone else on the internet. So you guys are a bunch of strangers that come here. I should appreciate you, no matter your stance on whatever is being said. So I just wanted to take this opportunity to apologize for your mother drinking while having you. I want to apologize to you for being so dumb and so inconsiderate to think that berating people with your bigotry and annoyance was going to change anything. But before you hit that dislike button that you thought was magically going to make my channel disappear, I do owe it to you guys to show you I do research. Exhibit A. So here we have it, a Venn diagram. A Venn diagram shows circles that overlap with each other, and the overlapping factors have mutual interest in them. I've created a Venn diagram to help you guys better digest exactly who I'm talking to and why I'm talking to them. Let's go over this. Let's start off with the normal people, because vast majority of the people that came to my comment section were normal people. But there was a certain group of people that weren't so normal, and we'll get to talk about them. But let's talk about who's normal and who's not. This is a scarce definition. None of this should be taken too serious. Normal, but you know the old adage, a hit dog hollers, right? Normal people, they probably pay their taxes, they shower, they have good friends, good friend community group. You can tell that their friends value their time and stuff with them, super cool. Understanding, they have the ability to empathize, and more importantly, sympathize with people, because empathy implies that you can feel how someone feels. Sympathy is not knowing the feeling, but being able to understand what's going on with them. Maybe I said that backward. Someone will look it up in the comment section for me. I think normal people like anime now. I think it's safe to say it out loud. Back in my day when you were younger, you said this, nobody really liked you, but nowadays, it's cool. They're pretty active. You don't necessarily have to be working out, but you have an active lifestyle. You try your best to stay in shape, whether it's through diet or exercise. And you probably had a mask on during COVID-19. You were fairly normal. That's normal people. And the bigger cross-section of this would be with games. Games are usually fun. They're pretty hard. They're a great time together. Like, they bring people together. You can have great stories and things like that. They make for great gifts. It's pretty good sign that you're into tech. You have a good understanding of tech and things like that. If you play games and you play them enough, you learn that you win some and you lose some. But overall, it's always GG's, man. It's good to have another one. Now, we have a cross section here with gamers. And gamers are usually pretty impressive people. When you have games and then you have normal people, you run into problem solvers. People who value time. Pretty good at most things that they put their mind to. And they have tons of sex, so clap it up. Good on you, gamers. Good on you, gamers. But then we have a cross-section with gamers called know-it-alls. And know-it-alls are big into numbers. They're the jack of all trades. They have the best experience, and they're usually pretty prepared. Also crosses with normal people. And this causes them, and normal people, gamers, and know-it-alls, create leaders. They're the people on your team who push a 1v3. They also win those 1v3s. And they probably have the best swag. That in real life and also in the gaming world. They probably have a really nice car, nice accessories, best tools, has every system, every console, and they have all the cool skins in Fortnite for sure. A lesser known subsection, which is know-it-alls and normal people. Know-it-alls and normal people, usually we call them the 9-to-5ers. They usually work in HR or teachers, and they have cats. I think that's a fair assessment of it. And then a closer subsection is know-it-alls and games. These are the LLCs. They are usually blue-collar people. They have a cool car, for sure. They have the best car. An old school car or a super new car. And they're usually dog people. History people. We already talked about how the history people, they're nerds, they're smart. You see patterns very well, and you seek the truth. So history people are pretty cool. When you cross-play a history person with a gamer, you get a cosplayer. They like RPGs, they like hikes, they like helping their grams or pawpaws with their emails. These are the most efficient, nice people ever. They just want to see the better side of the universe. When you mix a gamer, a history person, and a person that knows it all, you basically get a Virgo. And I'm a Virgo, so you can just go read the horoscope, but we're pretty awesome. In the subsection, if you mix a person who is a history person with a know-it-all, you get the stock guy or the stock gal. And they like their money, they enjoy cooking, and they're very good at it. And they also enjoy good quality time. These are people that don't want to really mess with the nonsense or the side stories. They want to get straight to the facts. You're not gonna keep this person on the phone for 2 hours, that's for sure. Now we go with the subsections because we're leaving the normal people now. Normal people are gone. So if you didn't find yourself in that crowd, I'm probably I hate to inform you, you're probably the person in my comment section right now writing some ridiculous things and you don't even know it. Let's look at people that say DEI is bad. Do you know how bad your life must be going? How unaware, like your awareness has to be level 0 to go into a black person's video in the comment section and say DEI is bad. Diversity, equity, inclusion. Literally the thing that this country and most of the productive Western world has stripped of people that look like me. Now, I don't want you to feel bad for me at all. I am not a victim here. I have a great life. I live in an extremely safe neighborhood. I have tons of guns. I have multiple degrees. I was in the NFL. I have a great life, great job. I'm great. Oh, and I can also bench press more than you or your boyfriend. Guaranteed. I digress. But it's understandable. Your mother was drinking when she had you. Mostly white men. The vast majority of white men on this channel, chef's kiss. I applaud you guys. Oh, yeah. Really great people. Another thing about you guys, you don't like people of color. This is an ongoing theme. You guys won't outright say it. Your racism is a lot quieter, a lot more shy than your forefathers. I miss those guys. They used to walk around with the hoods on so everyone knew that they were bad people. Now you guys get to hide as accountants or drive-through people, and you're not really doing anything constructive with your hate. It's kind of depressing. And they tend to say this a lot in the comment section. The Last Samurai with Tom Cruise quote really triggered them. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but that monologue was satire to a certain extent, and I can understand how you probably missed it because you were so angry that I mentioned your Lord and Savior, Tom Cruise. But I'm really upset that no one noticed how much effort I put into finding a 3D rendering from the canceled game of The Last Samurai starring Tom Cruise. I mean, nobody gave me my flowers for that. It's criminal. It's criminal. But I said that because I knew that it would alert me to the people who were profound on it. And you know what? I never watched The Last Samurai, the movie. Wanna know why? Because I learned about it in school. So I didn't really have to read. I really didn't have to watch the movie to know what the story was about. And also, the third act meanders and it loses its way during the second half. I fell asleep before the grand battle, which says a lot. But Tom Cruise's hair in that movie? Mission Impossible 2 hair is amazing. Tom Cruise is always a win. But yeah, that's the DEI people that were in my comment section. And we'll get into the gap right here is probably bothering you. And if it's bothering you, I hate to tell you, it's probably because it's about you. Let's go to the notes. This subsection is called Scum. These are the people that said Yasuke was a slave. He was a pet to Nobunaga. Hot take, interesting for sure. But what you really don't want to see is a black person on a pedestal. You want to know something that's interesting about all the people that are saying that he wasn't a samurai? Let's take a look at the definition of samurai, shall we? History skills, the historical evolution of the samurai, Japanese elite warriors. It says here the samurai first appeared in the 10th century AD in the Heian period, a new system of military service, private armies who were paid for local warlords known as daimyo. The original meaning of the word samurai came from the verb sabura, which meant to serve. Theoretically, the samurai existed to serve the Japanese emperor. However, in reality, they served any individual daimyo who was willing to pay for their help. So, no matter how you cook it, if you call him a servant, you called him a slave, you called him a retainer, which was also a samurai. All samurais were servants, slaves, to whoever was willing to pay them. Sort of like how we all are kind of servants to whoever pays us. In a sense, if you have a job, you're a samurai. Clap it up. Hey.
Get down!
You're a samurai. We will samurai's. We will samurai's. We is samurais. We're all samurais. Because you all get paid to do something, right? So yeah, we're all samurais now. Another group of people that these gamers and these non-DI, we don't know anything about Yasuke's life. There was only 3 or 6 pages or scriptures about who Yasuke was. He only stayed there for 13 weeks. No. You are a bigot and you choose not to learn anything about Yasuke. From what we can tell, I just started reading this book, African Samurai, The True Story of Yasuke, a Legendary Black Warrior in Feudal Japan by Thomas Locke and Jeffrey Gigerod. This is a great read so far, and they definitely take some liberties and they use public recounting of people's public knowledge based on information from the 1500s. Most of you are complaining about how this information was sourced when you guys, most of you in the chat right now, can't recount 5 generations back in your own bloodline. And this book was written in 2019, long before any of you guys knew the meaning of woke, DEI, or pandering to the masses, because this book was made for people who are actually interested in getting to know somebody that a lot of people don't know about. More importantly, this book was written and developed in the area of feudal Japan, modern day Japan. This book was given to us by the help of the Japanese people. So we're not really concerned too much about the people who don't like it. And while this score is not a 5 out of 5, which is what I'm ranking the book right now, it is definitely higher than your GPA in high school. So we'll take that for what it is. But the last part, what about Japanese men? I have never seen so many white men come to the defense of Japanese people, Asian people in general. And I totally get, I actually might be able to empathize with people in this particular situation. If there was a situation where a Japanese man had an amazing story, and let's just say his name was Nobunaga, and he had this dream of unifying all of Japan using some underhanded and above table tactics in order to get his and spread his word and mission. And they decided to replace Nobunaga with Christopher Columbus. I would actually understand where your anger and aggression is coming from, because you took someone in history and replaced them with someone else in history. You see, if you're mad about seeing representation because you didn't get your representation, you're not mad about representation. You're just a hater. And you never had an interest in representation. You should celebrate, be happy that someone got the limelight, and that someone probably isn't used to getting it. For what it's worth, there is only ever going to be one Yasuke. There's ever only going to be one black samurai. Afro samurai still counts in my book. Are we claiming Mugen? We're claiming Mugen too. You gotta be able to, you gotta reach deep here. This story is about Japanese culture. Yasuke is African Japanese. He was born in Africa, stolen, and created a lifetime legacy. Trust me, if he wasn't significant, his story wouldn't have made it till today. Black people are constantly being erased out of history. Black people are so badly erased from history because we accomplish so much. We do so much. Vivian Thomas, who is my idol, is the reason why the blue baby syndrome that I studied and now know how to perfect is a cardiac procedure I perform and use to save children. That came from a black man. That came from one of my idols, and I studied his tutelage where he used to study. Representation matters because it gives people who don't know an ability to learn. And if you're mad about people learning about their culture, about their connection to other cultures, how the world is more connected in a positive light than in a negative light, then you are the problem. You are scum. And I really wish that hate would leave your heart, because the world is so much cooler. And word is on the street, become normal, you can start having a lot more sex.